Hi, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. I have another antique junk journal. This is a beautiful book that I received. It is from 1912, and it's got this beautiful image of three nurses on the cover. It's really hard to find nursing books from long ago with this beautiful of an image on it that isn't a medical educational nursing book. So this is just really precious. And I'm going to take you on a little journey through here. And I just wanted to point out that the beads, again, purple vintage beads are very hard to find, but I've collected enough to make this sweet little bangle with some matching ribbons to the cover and some vintage doily down here. So on the inside, amongst all of the many authentic, antique, and vintage ephemera pages, I have a little pocket here that's the, oh geez, sorry about that. The original first page, and I have this vintage, it's actually from the Holly Hobby pattern. I don't think it says Holly Hobby on it, but I am going to tuck that in there for fun. There we go. And this is a really fun 1940s newspaper article that says, "Be a nurse, make $50 to $60 a week." Whoa, I think they make $50 to $60 an hour now. So, and still not paid enough. I highly believe that. This is a very old Monopoly piece that says, "Pay hospital $100. And we've got the nurse here looking for her money. And that is all on top of this 1920s Child's Garden of Verses. We've got this nurse here. "Nurse helps me when I embark." I love that, helping the little one there in bed. It's a very precious one. And then "My bed is a boat." This is a vintage ledger sheet. And here I have this beautiful vintage dictionary page with some berries there. And this is from Versailles, France. And that is 1930. Isn't that beautiful? A very peaceful scene there. And then this is a vintage Trees of America page. And that is over 50 years old, so truly vintage. If you're ever wondering, vintage is 50 years to 100 years. If anything is less than 50 years old, it's just, old. And maybe retro, but yeah, vintage is that, and antique is 100 plus. So this is very special. This came out of a Heroines of European History book that is now a journal. And I pulled these pages from it because they are from probably one of the most famous nurses in history, and that is Florence Nightingale. And I don't normally do this, but I left all the pages about her in this book because I think it's very special that they stay with the photograph. It's a, if you're a nurse, this is a really important story. So that goes in there. And then inside the sweetheart pocket, I have this really old postcard, and look at this fashion on here. And this is a German photograph that was put onto postcard backing, which is what they did so they could mail them easier. And just this lovely German lady here, just beautiful. That is probably from the 20s. Antique book page here. And then here I've got a number 14 flinch card from the 30s. And this is a 1920s arts and craft book. It's actually art education book, and this is Work and Play. Pretty little winter and Christmas scenes there. And I made this little tag here out of antique ephemera. Another antique book page there, 1920s children's book page here. And I just think this is really cool, and it took a long time to find this. It was not easy. First of all, because they don't look like nurses' outfits, right? But it does say here, 1927 catalog page for nurses. Nurses uniform, Martha Washington dress. So these are nurses' uniforms. I mean, this style is called a frock, and because it's from the 20s, it's very frock-like. It's just awesome. 1920s nurses outfit, way better than today's. So this is a vintage book page, nice full color there that can be journaled on. And this is just a really cool 100-year-old piece of twine. It's called twisting ribbon and non-twisting ribbon. And it's called India tape, but it's just the name of the tape. It's actually made in England. And that's very old and cool. So you can actually unravel it and use it. Then we have, I love this, Grace and Gracefulness, Our Girls. That is from 1898. Butterfly from the dictionary page, and here is some great vintage children's book pages, 100-year-old children's school workbook page. And here's another wonderful piece here. Look at this, another nursing piece. This is from 1956. Make $15 a day and more. I mean, what a deal. Who wouldn't want to be a nurse for that kind of money? And then rock and roll records. This is also very cool. So that's a fun piece, right? Love it. Really, really cool. And then this is just a beautiful 4 seasons of the year. This is from early 1900s, even though it looks brand new. It's very old. Here's a children's book page. And look at this beautiful piece here. This is from 1913, Girls' Own Annual. And you've got this, the hospital in the home, and the home nurse there caring for the ill. 1920s page here as well. Oh, I just love this image here in this dictionary page. Vintage botanical page, gotta have it, right? And then this is just another vintage page, and it's a Modern Women's Medical Encyclopedia. I thought that was good for a nurse's journal as well. And a guard's watchman to keep their time, just like a nurse would clock their hours. A guard's watchman would also do that. And this is just a really cool vintage coupon for 1 cent. Go crazy, right? And then this is just a beautiful 1920s piece of beach shells and starfish, different starfish and fun things like that you'd find at the beach. And then I have this early 1900s handwritten thesis page, and then just a really fun little Heidi page here from the 50s. And this is just really fun. I got to throw in some fun vintage fashions. I love this piece actually, and that is from the 70s. And an 1887 plate here. And you've got this woman here. I couldn't tell if she was a nurse or not, but she's giving food to the elderly there. And then we've got a receipt here from the 70s, so that is vintage. And this I just thought was very cool, because things that a nurse would do is measure, weigh the babies, got x-rays here, good nutrition, all kinds of fun things. Here's another 1913 Girls' Own Annual, The Hospital in the Home. I think I have another one coming up as well. And look at this beautiful one. This is the other one I was talking about. Look at that gorgeous piece here. And this is actually from an older book. I believe, I want to say it's 1903. Look how pretty that is. The nurse caring for the children. I love it. This also from a 1927 catalog. I wanted to pick medical supplies. So this is all kinds of medications and tablets and lotions and potions that they would have used. And then on the other side, we have thermometers, urine thingies. Lovely, right? I thought it was interesting. And I think it's perfect for this kind of journal. This is just a fun, pretty piece for embroidery. I just really, really like it. So I put antique paper in the back, and I pulled this from a vintage dictionary, nurse. The definition of a nurse there, and a nursemaid. Excuse me, a tickle in my throat. Vintage page here, blank back for journaling, and a beautiful early 1900s poem there. And then here's another medical one here, caring for children. That's the doctor there. And that's kind of cool. And we're getting close to the end now. That's an 1850s engraving plate. And then this is a beautiful early pre-1905, in fact, sunflower piece with beautiful poem about autumn there. And in the back here is the Girls Life Brigade. So these are girls who do life-saving here. Maybe not nurses, but they are lifesavers. And this is the training they did. Look at how fantastic that is from 1913. Love it. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. It's pretty special. If you'd like to see the rest of my journals, go to hyperstamper.etsy.com, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.